Hello, what's up guys? So our topic for today is fundamentals of fluid flow. So I am Engineer Samuel Ibulalakaw, your instructor for today. So why do we need to discuss this topic? So the fundamentals of fluid flow is very important po, especially in our field and of course in everyday life. So let's try to think. Paano ba umaakyat yung tubig sa mga hanggang sa 28th floor or above? So that is of course the reason kung bakit meron tayong fluid flow. Yung science behind that one is under this topic. And of course, we have different applications regarding this. So let's proceed. So first, what is the fluid flow or the hydrodynamics? So the hydrodynamics or the fluid flow is a branch of mechanics. So a branch of mechanics that studies fluids in motion. So under fluid mechanics pa po ito, no? It is based on the following principles. So we have continuity equation, energy principles, the principle of momentum. So first, let's discuss first the definition of terms. Meron tayong ideal fluids. Ito po yung pinaka perfect form ng fluid natin. So it has properties which is non-viscous. So it has no internal frictions. So parang nagko-flow lang siya. So walang resistance, incompressible. Its density stays constant no matter how hard you squeeze it. So hindi nagbabago yung ating density. So we also have this steady flow. The velocity at any fixed point doesn't change over time. So steady lang yung flow niya. So walang pagbabago pagdating sa flow. And then we also have the rotational. It doesn't have any swirls. So ibig sabihin, kalmado lang yung flow natin. So walang masyadong pagbabago sa flow. So yan yung reason kaya nag-consume ng energy. Second, we have the laminar flow. In laminar flow, every particle of fluid follows a smooth path. And this path never cross each other. So it looks like layers of fluid sliding perfectly over one another. So, imagine natin yung let's say falls, no? Yan. Pag bumagsak yung tubig doon sa may falls, medyo magulo yung tubig, no? Medyo wasak. Walang masyadong smooth flow. Pero kapag nag-flow na siya doon sa may unahan na part, medyo kalmado na yung tubig. Ayan na yung laminar flow. So, next we have the turbulent flow. Once a fluid reaches a certain speed or it hits a jagged edge, it becomes turbulent. So, parang sa ano yan? Sa airplane. So, once na medyo rough road yung ating andar, parang umuugo-ugo. So, ibig sabihin, turbulent yung hangin doon or sa taas. So, same din po sa tubig. So, once or sa fluid. So, once na medyo marami yung swirls ng ating fluid, so it becomes a turbulent. This is characterized by chaotic, yan, napakagulo ng flows, irregular swirls, and then it is much harder to predict. Usually requires more energy to maintain because of all the internal friction. So ito po yung itsura. So laminar flow, medyo smooth lang siya, very smooth. And then the turbulent naman, yung kanyang flow is very chaotic. Okay, so in fluid dynamics, next is the fluid dynamics. We have the hydrodynamics. So, yan yung na-mention ko kanina. I-differentiate lang natin yung ating hydrostatic and then the hydrodynamics. So, hydrostatic, and na-discuss natin last prelim. So, it deals with the fluid at rest. Like water sitting in a tank. So, parang kumbaga, hindi siya gumagalaw. Hydrodynamics naman focuses on how fluid move or behave when they flow or kapag gumagalaw. Ayan yung chine-check natin, no? Especially the change of speed, yung mga obstacles or like the head losses, etc. So next, we have the steady flow. This occurs when the discharge Q passing a given cross-section is constant with time. So the flow is, if the flow of the cross-section varies with time, the flow is unsteady. For example, sabihin na lang natin, nakatayo ka sa isang bridge. Tapos, may river doon sa bridge, syempre. Tapos, na-observe mo ng around 10 a.m., yung flow ng tubig is parehas hanggang 12 p.m., ganun. So, ibig sabihin, the flow is steady. Okay? Pero if 12 p.m., na-check mo tapos around 4 p.m., mas dumami yung tubig. Parang nagkaroon ng, tumaas yung water height ng tubig. Ibig sabihin, yung flow nyon is unsteady. So next, we have the uniform flow. It occurs if the average velocity of the flow is same at every cross-section. So dito naman, isipin nyo lang na kunyari, meron tayong PVC pipe, tapos same diameter all throughout the length. So ibig sabihin nun, uniform flow. Pero if ever na nabago yung pipe diameter natin from one point to another, nagkaroon ng pagbabago. So ibig sabihin nun, non-uniform flow na po yan. Lastly, we have the continuous flow. This occurs when at any time, the discharge Q at every section of the stream is the same. So ito na po yung ating continuity equation. So ibig sabihin, from one point, kung ano yung, kunyari ito yung pipe natin, kung ano yung pumasok dito na tubig, amount ng tubig, volume, ayan din po yung lalabas na amount ng tubig. So this is related with our next term. We have the discharge of flow rate. It is the measure of volume of fluid passing through a specific point in a set amount of time, which is usually measured in cubic meters per second, which is cubic meter per second. So the formula is Q is equivalent to the area times the velocity. So same with the continuous flow. So kung ano yung Q na pumasok dyan, yung discharge, ayan din po yung lalabas dyan under the continuity equation. Okay, so next, it can be expressed, yung discharge natin can be expressed in the three following flow rate. We have the mass flow rate, which has equation of M, which is the mass flow rate, is equivalent to the Q, or the discharge, times the density of the fluid. We also have the volume flow rate, which is the original equation. And then lastly, we have the weight flow rate, which is equivalent to gamma times Q. Excuse me. So next, we have the continuity equation. Under continuous flow, this is a very important concept pagdating sa ating fluid flow. It occurs when the discharge Q at every section of the stream is the same. So it is based on the conservation of mass. So kung ano yung pinasok na mass, ayan yung ilalabas na mass. Ayan po yung continuity equation. So ibig sabihin, from concept, ito yung nakalagay. No fluid is lost or gained, no cavities are formed or destroyed as the fluid passes through a conduit. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung Q na pinasok dito sa section number 1, ayan din po yung Q na ilalabas sa section number 2. Or ayan yung discharge, or ayan yung laman ng ating fluid, which is constant all throughout hanggang saan naman yan umabot. Okay? Siyempre, meron tayong dalawang equation for that kasi nagbabago po yung fluid depende sa application. Kunyari, pare-parehas lang naman po yung para-parehas lang naman po yung ating fluid. Syempre, parehas lang po yung equation natin. Pero if ever na compressible fluids po tayo, meron tayong pagkakaiba sa fluids. Hindi na siya ideal fluid, no? Na para-parehas. Madadagdag po tayo ng equation na density. Density 1 and then density 2. Okay, next. So, meron tayong energy principle. So, kinetic and potential energies. So, what are the relationship with this one? Energy principle to the fluid flow. So, syempre, in order for a thing to work, it requires energy. Diba? So, same with the fluids. So, syempre, gumagalaw yung fluids, it requires energy. It requires energy to flow. So, here are the kinetic and the potential energies that are included with this topic. So, let's start with the kinetic energy. So, this is the ability of mass to do work by virtue of its velocity. So, from the equation, 1/2 mv squared kinetic energy. So, let's convert this mass into weight over g. So, magkakaroon tayo ng equation na to. So, for this topic, we have the kinetic or the velocity head na tinatawag. Ito po yung mga measurement of the height difference between the fluid being moved at one point to the another point. So, kunyari, from this point, ito yung, sabi natin, ito yung tubo. From this point, nag-flow siya papunta dito. So, may pagbabago po ng energy dyan. May na-consume na energy. Ibig sabihin, yung na-consume na energy dyan, through kinetic energy, is what we call the velocity head or the kinetic head. So, we call that velocity head na lang kasi nakabase naman siya sa velocity. Okay? So, the velocity head has an equation of kinetic energy over the weight. So, kung i-plug in natin yung kinetic energy dito, maka-cancelled out yung W. So, kaya matitira 1/2 V squared over G or V squared over 2G. So, since it is a measurement, so the velocity head has an equation or has a unit of meters. So, next, we also have the potential energy. So, potential energy, under the potential energy, we have the elevation energy. So, energy possessed by the fluid by virtue of its position. So, syempre, kunyari, from one point, papuntang taas yung ating panibagong point, syempre, aakyat yung fluid. So, it requires energy, no? So, under the energy na yan, naandito yung elevation energy natin. So, nagbabago kasi yung elevation, no? So, ikaw, umakyat ka ng hagdan. It requires energy to do that. So, yung energy na nawala or energy na na-consume mo is under potential energy. Nagbabago yung elevation. So, we have the equation of elevation energy over the weight. So, the elevation energy has an equation of weight times the elevation or the position of the fluid. So, the elevation head is just equivalent to the position of the fluid Z. So, lastly, we have the pressure energy under the potential energy po. So, dito naman, we have the equation of W times the pressure over the gamma. So, since we have the pressure energy over the W for the pressure head, matitira sa atin is pressure over the gamma. So, total energy of flow, ito yung sum ng lahat ng energy na na-consume ng ating fluid. So, yung energy na na-consume ng ating fluid is kinetic and then the potential energies. So, the total energy is equivalent to kinetic plus potential energies. which is, kung i-summarize natin, we have total head, which is denoted by the letter E, is equivalent to V squared over 2G, which is the kinetic energy. We have the P, or the pressure over the gamma, which is the pressure energy, and then the elevation energy, which is the Z. So let's add the power and efficiency. So the power, since we are talking about energies and head, no? So we have the power is the rate of doing work per unit of time. So this is equivalent to the discharge. Ito naman yung power na i-accumulate ng ating fluid. So equivalent to Q over gamma times the energy. So the efficiency is equivalent to output over input times 100%. So we have this following conversion factor. So let's proceed with our Bernoulli's theorem. So this is the last subtopic under the fluid flow. It is from the application of the principle of conservation of energy. So it states that the law of conservation of energy states that the energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form of energy to another. This means that a system always has the same amount of energy unless it's added from the outside. So ayan yung sabi ni mathematician Daniel Bernoulli. Yan yung itsura niya dati. Okay? Ito. Pakapogi. Siyempre, nasa modern age na tayo. Nagpagupit na siya. Okay. So, Bernoulli's principle under the law of conservation of energy, same lang yung concept doon, no? Ibig sabihin, walang energy. Nabago lang siya, or parang nabago lang yung form ng energy niya. Okay? Parang ganun yung sinasabi ni Bernoulli dito. So, may have the three components of energy. Ito na yung na-discuss natin. So, sabi dito, an ideal fluid, the total energy remains constant along the streamline. Ito na yung itsura ni Bernoulli. Daniel. Okay, let's proceed with the energy and hydraulic grade line. Kasi kasama yan doon sa ating fluid flow. Kaya bakit walang nawawalang energy? Ito yung sagot. So, yan. The energy and hydraulic grade line. Let's start first with the energy grade line. The EGL represents the total head or the total energy of the fluid. So, from this figure, okay, so meron tayong green line, which is the energy grade line. It is the sum of all the three components, the pressure, the velocity, plus the elevation. In an ideal fluid, the EGL is perfectly horizontal line. Ganito daw siya. Hindi siya perfect. Hanggang from one point to another point, perfect daw po yung horizontal line. Pero since in reality, may mga nawawala pong energy. Ano po? Bakit may mga nawawalang energy? Because, for example, may mga butas yung pipes. May nawawalang fluid. Ibig sabihin, may nawawalang energy. Pangalawa, may friction yung pipes. So, hindi naman po ideal yung ating nasa reality. Ideal nga eh. So, kapag nag-flow yung fluid sa pipe, may friction po yung pipe natin. Medyo rough surface siya. So, may naiiwan na mga energy doon. Kaya nagkakaroon ng head or energy loss. So, kaya, hindi po siya horizontal line. Okay? So, makikita nyo sa energy grade line natin, which is the green, ito yung total Ito yung total na head or energies nakasali sa energy grade line. Okay, next, the hydraulic grade line. So, the HGL represents the piezometric head, which is just the sum of the pressure and the elevation. So, it ignores the kinetic energy. As you can see in the diagram, itong red line, we have the hydraulic grade line. So, it only includes the pressure at point 2 and then the elevation at point 2. So, if you were stick a vertical tube into the pipe, so, kunyari, maglalagay tayo dyan ng ng butas, tapos lalagay tayo ng piezometer, the water would rise exactly to the level of the HGL. So, ayan yung pagkuha ng hydraulic grade line. So, the HGL is always below the energy grade line. The vertical distance between two lines is exactly equal to the velocity head. Ito. Okay? So, kaya nyong ma-solve yung mga to kung may given kayo mga grade lines. So, sa part ng hydraulic grade line, ayan yung parang potential ng tubig na kaya niyang itulak pataas. Kunyari, without relying with the velocity. Ayan yung hydraulic grade line. So, we also have the Bernoulli's energy equations under the Bernoulli's principle. So, neglecting head loss, ayan na yung ideal fluid. So, in ideal fluid, we neglect head loss. Kaya, kung makikita nyo, yung energy grade line natin is pantay. Horizontal po siya. We have the energy 1 is equivalent to energy 2. So, summation of the energies in the point 1 is equivalent to summation of energies in the point 2. Ayan na po yung sinasabi ng conservation of energy. So, kung ano yung naanditong energy sa point 1, parehas lang din po yan sa energy ng point 2. Pero bago lang yung mga, or kumbaga, hindi siya mawawala, but rather, magbabago lang siya ng form ng energy. So, kunyari, yung energy at yung velocity energy natin is maliit sa point 1, bigla siyang tumaas. Pero yung amount ng energies nila is just the same. So, ayan yung sinasabi sa Bernoulli's energy equation. So, kapag naman kinonsider natin yung head loss, considering that this is the realistic, or this is the real world scenario, ito-take consideration natin yung head loss o yung mga nawalang energy from point 1 to point 2. So, kumbaga, from point 1, yung fluid mag-flow hanggang sa point 2. So, kung yung at point 1 is buo pa yung energy niya, okay, syempre may mga pagbabago yan dito sa along the length. So, kunyari, nawalang energy due to friction dahil merong friction yung ating pipe. Pangalawa naman, kung pwedeng may butas yung ating may mga leak yung ating mga pipes. So, may mga nawawalang energy dyan. Pwede naman, nagbago yung direction, nagbago yung elevation, nagkaroon ng changes. So, dahil dyan, nagkakaroon ng pagbabago sa energy. And, ayan na po yung head loss natin from point 1 to 2 na kailangan nating ibawas dito sa ating equation. Kaya ganito po yung naging equation natin. Energy 1 minus head loss from 1 to 2, it is equivalent to energy 2. So, expand natin yung equation natin. Kakaroon lang tayo ng mga energies from point 1 to 2. So, this is the final equation natin. For the energy equation, considering the head loss. Ito yun na yung gagamitin natin kasi we will solve realistic or real world problems. Okay. So, yun ang basics. So, that's it for our fundamentals of fluid flow. For our sample problems, please check the next video for our computations and solving about the fundamentals of fluid flow. Let's go.